Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live broadcast from yours truly, DOxCoolBreeze, courtesy of Clan DOx, and I don't even know what else to say at this point in time. Without further ado, let me kick into our game today. It's going to be a Terran versus Terran game, which I gleaned off of the ladder from my own personal experience. Introducing the players here, in the top left corner is going to be yours truly, DOxCoolBreeze, playing as a blue Terran on the map Achillean Wastes. Of course, I am a diamond level Terran player. And the bottom right is going to be JBHoppang, I think is how you would say that. He's going to be our red Terran player, and he will be spawning in the bottom right hand. This is a map, like I said, I gleaned from the ladder, and most Terran versus Terrans, I don't know if any one of you guys play or have heard people complain about them, but basically Terran versus Terran ends the exact same way. He who builds the most Reapers early game wins. At least in the later stages, I feel like the higher level players have the better micro, and that's what ends up happening. In either case, we have both players going fairly standard. There's going to be, it looks like Hoppang is going to be going for a, I'm just going to call him JB from now on, it sounds way better. So JB, Johnny Bravo here, is going to be going for a 1-Rax fast expand, whereas CoolBreeze is opting for the 1-Rax with some gas on the end. I'd like to take this opportunity to showcase the brand new mercenary skin that you'll see on the supply depots, as it's been so eloquently put out by some of my good personal friends. It looks like my supply depots get DirecTV now. Anyway, Breeze just being pesky here, putting down a refinery here. During the game, I wasn't sure if this player was going to be going for gas. I thought he might have already had one, and he might be going for two, because most Terran players go for cheesy gas plays now, so I was just trying to delay that as much as I could. It turns out that it actually didn't do anything for me, because there was really no reason to go there. JBHoppang, JB, of course, went for the early command center, which will prove later. This is so sneaky. I love that he did that, because the vision of it is very hard to pick up. Anyway, so he should be cleaning this out relatively shortly. He has Marines on the field. He is picking up the singular gas, which will get him farther down the tech tree. And we have our first Reaper on the field with the second one on the way, orbital command, and another gas for CoolBreeze. So we should see some cheeky fun going on here. Looks like that Reaper's going to go ahead and start engaging here. He could pick up that SCV, making it the first kill of the game, and then get out and heal back up. And it looks like JB's now forced to react to that. It does have his gas. Looks like a little misclick on that mule there. We have another Reaper on the way, and a third Reaper on the way as well. Look at that. That's so greedy. The build that Breeze is using right now is going to be what's called the, it's a Reaper expand. The whole concept behind it is that you get a barracks down, and you will be using gas early game, hopefully not pulling too much like I am right now, and then be able to get your command center down. It's supposed to be an economic build, and then you macro up on the back end of it. It is usually used for mech, and I've been playing with it, trying to get it fine-tuned so that you can go into a bio style of play afterwards. You don't end up with a lot of add-ons, so it is a very unique and difficult build to kind of make work. But there's no way to get better at it without trying, unless you wanted to sit there and play computers. But who wants to do that all day? That's boring. Looks like these Reapers might be in a little bit of trouble, but they managed to sneak by, catching a Marine out of position, maybe be able to pick off another kill, and they do. And they will be hopping down to pick up 2 more kills on the way. This poor bunker, this guy may never finish this. Let's see, JB still has this proxy probe, or SCV waiting. Looks like we have an expand out of DOxCoolBreeze, and he should be following this up with some, man, he is floating some minerals. I definitely need a couple extra barracks, and I need to start teching out of Reapers, but terminal damage, I like that word terminal for some reason. There has been plenty of damage done, which has definitely slowed down our opponent, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but it definitely it lacks some creativity and some vision. Looks like JB will be going for the additional 2 racks, and he looks like I get 3 and engineering base. I see your 2 racks, and I raise you 3 with an engineering bay. Anyway, JB's racks are going to be a little bit delayed because of this, although there's an interesting game mechanic that I'm noticing right here, and this is something I noticed while I was playing the game, is that because of the position of these barracks, you're able to harass even better with the Reapers, and I was actually able to save all of them. Looking at a unit's lost to, that's got to be so annoying, it's 700 to 168, so I am really putting the screws to this guy. It looks like he's leaving some Marines here. There's a little spotting force trying to slow those Reapers down. However, I don't give a shit. I'm jumping right back in anyway. And both those Marines are now gone. picking off a couple more SCVs, going for that mule, and then just hopping back out, doing exactly what you should be doing with Reapers. At this point in time, JB, of course, has got to be extremely frustrated, and he's pretty much contained to his base because of the location. So he is trying to play catch-up. I like his playstyle here. He goes for the macro command center, and he's picking up his add-ons, so hopefully, is it just reactors? No, he's got a tech lab, so he should be able to get all the fun stuff like combat shields, stim packs, and things like that. And even more Reapers out of CoolBreeze. I guess there's no point in stopping if it's so effective. CoolBreeze, of course, doing the standard thing, picking up a stim pack and combat shields. And, of course, he does have the 1-1 working with a factory and a reactor on the way, probably indicative of going starport. And, of course, this SCV is still just chilling up there. So we'll see what happens. JB has a nice little spread of his Marines over here, but unfortunately CoolBreeze has discovered there is another cliff on that backside that you can abuse, which has not been touched yet, so I'm fairly confident that JB is unaware of it. CoolBreeze will be in. JB's hitting a terrible supply block. It looks like CoolBreeze will help him out by picking off some of those SCVs, getting them back into the game. And the tank is now working for him. It looks like the starport will be stopped with just 1 second's worth of repairs left on it. And I think JB's going to chase these Reapers down. They're going to be cornered here, and it looks like there is a Widow Mine in position to catch them when they try and escape back down that cliff. This could be ugly. Marines are getting picked off. SCV's joining the fight. Could be too little too late. There's the Widow Mine. Good hits, good hits. But at this point in time, we are looking at a grand total of 33 workers killed versus 1. With 47 units killed versus 8. So at this point in time, I do feel like JB is a little demoralized. Jinx, shut it. In either case, right now, with the general income being 11 to 28 workers, I don't know what JB has planned, but hopefully mules are as OP as everyone thinks, and without a GG, JP leaves the game. A couple things here, guys, that I would like to talk about. First off, macro. A lot of people like to talk about how you can literally get into Platinum League just based off your macro. This is a build that I like to try out. It is nice because you get your gas early and it enables you to get higher up that tech tree. But something to be extremely careful of whenever you're playing against another Terran player is you've got to be good on your scouting information. 2 things you want to be looking for are, first off, you want to make sure that your opponent is expanding. And if they are expanding, you are pretty much in good shape. Almost any build will be defensible. The reason that I actually play this Reaper Expand is because if I know that my opponent, there's a build on the ladder right now that's extremely effective against other Terran players, where you go 8 supply depot, 8 racks, and you throw it on your gas at the exact same time. So you get literally Reapers in their base by the 330 mark. The easiest way to hold that off is actually if you go with this build. It's a more economically minded build. You're able to get Reapers out. It's a little later, around the 4-minute mark, so they'll still be in your base, but you can send some SCVs to chase them down, and even if they have superior Reaper numbers, if you're using your SCVs and your Reapers and you have any kind of micro, you should be able to pick off their Reapers, or at least zone them out until you have enough where you can hold them effectively, catch them on a cliff or something like that. The other advantage to this build is that it gives you the opportunity to get an expansion up while you're still getting the scouting information off your opponent and you know what they're doing. I did use this particular build later on in the day, and I got stomped by someone who went with a 1-1-1 build that went fast Hellions with Marines, and he got a medevac out and dropped in the back of my base, but that was on a different map, so there was a little more dead zone back there. In either case, it's very important whenever you have a gas-heavy unit that you invest a lot into early game, for example like Reapers, that you stay active with them, which is something that was demonstrated by this game, but it is important because, I'm going to slow it down, you see that the minerals are floating up to by 900 right now, gas at 400, that you're spending those on the back end. One of the things that I found that I try and do, and I obviously didn't do it this game, but if you select a group of Marines, if you select a group of SCVs here in the middle and set them to a separate hotkey that you don't normally use, like for my example, my command centers are on 4, my production facilities are on 5, and then I usually put my army on 1. What I would have done is put these guys on, say, like 3. And so whenever I go to build my barracks while I'm focusing attack in order to make my macro easier, you can select 3, which will pick up 4 or 5 SCVs, and then you can just hit build barracks and put them down there. And what will happen is the remaining SCVs that aren't being used will just continue to work and not pay any attention to you. The ones that you are using will go and do what you need them to do. That way you don't have to necessarily, if you're not as fast as, say, a Masters level player, you're able to get in and out, do your dirty work, and then get out. Again, on this particular map, because of the choke positioning of the cliffs, Reapers are a little harder to use because you can only get up in this area right here, off of this cliff and off of this cliff. Reapers cannot make the double cliff jump. So with that said, whenever you put your barracks up here, you have to be very careful on your base layout because it does create a separation where those Marines have a really hard time getting in and out, and the Reapers can really take advantage of their ability to cliff jump. So something to be aware of as a Terran player. Just like I said, be careful. I have actually become more of a fan of making sure that my barracks are positioned off to the sides of the base, and a lot of the reason why I do that is because A, it helps you spot drops a little more easily, but B, there are a lot of games that I have played, and my teammates have pointed it out, where you just run out of space, especially on this map because there's not a lot in your main base, and I'll start putting racks down here or something like that. And there actually have been games where I've lost because my reinforcing units end up fighting the army that's pushing into my base one at a time as they're reinforcing instead of as a group, and it just sucks horribly. In either case, basically you just want to stay on top of your micro on the back end of this. I love having the engineering base down because basically by the time that I would be pushing out and doing any attack damage, I'm going to be sitting on 1-1 with stim pack and shields, where my opponent is going to be on 0-0 because he's still just trying to play catch up on tech. There is an old saying that there is no such thing as a cost-ineffective Reaper. Even if you're trading evenly on resources, as long as you're picking up SCV kills, worker kills on there, the Reapers will always come out cost-effective. And I know losing gas is a big deal, especially early game, because it's your resources you got to be very careful with early game. But once you kill a Harvester, man, they don't have as many resources to play with. And on top of that, you're forcing your opponent to literally react. All these SCVs had to be pulled off the line to engage, and so you're losing out on so much mining time. So it's something just to think about and give it a try in your games. In either case, appreciate the views, guys. If you like what you see, make sure to like my channel. You can check us out on Facebook at DOxFTW, the normal Facebook URL plus that on the end. You can also check us out on YouTube at www.youtube.com/DarkOnyx for the win. And thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.